Tang and the Song dynasties were periods of great technological achievement. It was a golden age for China that produced many important advancements still used today. The Tang dynasty came first from 618 to 907 AD. The main technological achievements of the Tang was clockwork, woodblock printing, porcelain, explosive powder, and medical achievements. The Song dynasty lasted from 960 to 1279. During the Song, there was advancements including paper money, movable type, the magnetic compass, and acupuncture, which developed throughout the dynasty. The next great achievement was the development of clockworks and timekeeping. At the time, engineer Yi Xing invented the first clockwork escape mechanism in 725. This device counted the number of oscillations, or swinging, for timekeeping. Other than the mechanical clock, Yi Xing created the first striking clock, or clock that sounds every hour. He also invented a clock called the astronomical clock, a clock that has special dials to display positions of the sun, moon, and zodiac symbols. To begin with, the invention of woodblock printing was one of many advances made in the Tang dynasty. The first woodblock illustration was printed in 868. It was the cover of the famous Buddhist text, the Diamond Sutra. During the Tang dynasty, woodblock printing was mainly used for religious purposes, although it was also used for calligraphy and printing of calendars. During the Song dynasty, it was developed to print books and other forms of literature. Woodblock printing was also said to increase the literacy rates in the lower class, which ultimately led to more people entering the imperial examinations. The Tang dynasty was a time of advancement in medicine, from publishing books to discovering causes and cures for many illnesses. In 657, Emperor Gaozong of Tang published Materia Medica, a book containing 833 different substances to treat illnesses. This book was the first evidence of using various herbs to help medicine. Sun Saimiao, who lived from 581 to 682, discovered that the cause of diabetes came from excessive amounts of sugar in the blood. Another author of medicine was Zheng Quan, who lived in 643. He discovered that the thyroid glands of pigs and sheep were successful in treating goiters, large swellings on the neck, on humans. Another amazing advancement in the Tang dynasty was the production and quantity of porcelain, developed in the late 700s. Porcelain was accidentally invented by a Chinese alchemist when working with quartz and orthoclase. It is a white ceramic that is made of clay and minerals only found in China. It soon became very popular in an everyday part of life, and by the 11th century was shipped all over the world, including places like Japan, India, Turkey, and Africa. Last but not the least important invention was explosive powder, developed in the 800s. Explosive powder is created with sulfur, saltpeter, and charcoal. This substance exploded with a flash when exposed to an open flame. When first discovered, the Chinese referred to it as fire medicine because of its ingredients and flammable tendencies. While not initially harmful, the invention of exploding powder ultimately led to the creation of gunpowder to be used for thousands and thousands of years after in many weapons. After some development, explosive powder was used in the Song dynasty in new weapons like cannons, grenades, and arrows with small bombs on them. Gunpowder is considered by many to be China's greatest invention.
First in the timeline of Song inventions was paper money, developed in the 1020s. Before paper money, metal coins, either bronze or copper, were used by merchants for trade and carried around on strings. The many strings of coins were burdensome and heavy. Song dynasty merchants decided they needed a more convenient form of currency, so they started using paper notes instead of metal coins. This first form of paper currency was a bit unorganized, but developed more when the government began printing the paper notes. This was the first government-issued paper currency in the world and helped China's commercial economy advance. Another advancement of the Song was movable type, an improvement from block printing in the Tang dynasty. It was first invented in 1040 by alchemist Pi Shang. He created thin blocks of clay and carved individual Chinese characters into each of them. To print a page, the characters would be organized on an iron frame and placed on an iron plate. The plate was warmed in a fire and then could produce a printed sheet by using ink and pressing a clean board on the iron plate. Although this was a revolutionary idea, it was quite impractical due to the large amount of Chinese characters. Therefore, movable type was much more useful for other cultures. Next on the timeline is the magnetic compass, perfected for navigation in the 1100s. The magnetic compass has been used by the Chinese for centuries before the Song dynasty, but was adopted by sailors for navigation at sea. The floating, magnetized needle in the center always points north and south. The use of the magnetic compass was an important invention that made China powerful, as European countries did not develop a magnetic compass until about a century later. Unlike the magnetic compass that developed for economics, acupuncture developed as the Chinese became more curious about medicine, science, and the human body. Through examining and learning about the human body, the Chinese were able to create detailed diagrams and models of the body. Depending on the problem, thin needles would be inserted into different areas. Similar to magnetic compasses, acupuncture had been used by the Chinese for centuries, but was greatly improved during the Song dynasty. It was during the golden age of the Song dynasty that the Chinese were able to pinpoint spots on the body for the needles in order to relieve specific areas of pain. The world would not be the same without the achievements of the Song and Tang dynasties. During these two dynasties, China not only became the world's most populated country, but also the world's most advanced country. The advancements of the Tang and Song caused China to flourish, as well as improved other countries as the revolutionary ideas spread. Printing made an incredible mark on the world by allowing information to be both documented and spread. Explosive powder was also a remarkable invention that changed society forever when, after the Tang, was used as gunpowder for weapons. The Tang and Song were truly a golden age for China, and not only improved China but also changed how the world developed.
Thanks for watching!